there's really not much more to say than the Los Angeles Rams are a pretty good football team. Last year, they made their way into the playoffs, destroyed the Vikings, and were easily the closest team in the entire playoffs to beating the Philadelphia Eagles about a touchdown away. There was opportunities. It wasn't like the Green Bay Packers are really close to beating the Eagles. I know they lost by 2 touchdowns, but, they were in it the whole time. Were they really? The Rams, absolutely. They were in that game. Should have probably won that game, if we're going to be honest. And they head into the offseason with really the biggest concern being, well, is Cooper Kupp going to be healthy? And they said, you know what? We're not even going to question that. We are going to be moving on. We're going to be going for Davante Adams. Really good wide receiver still, even at his age. People, for some reason, are clowning on him because the Jets were bad. I think everyone just really hates Aaron Rodgers, so anyone tied to him at all, they hate him. 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns for a guy that was with the Raiders. Like, I'm sorry, Raiders fans, you already know. If you're tied to the Raiders, good or bad, you can't be blamed for bad, right? You just can't be. So, if he played for the Jets all season, 1,100, 1,200 yards, probably double-digit touchdowns. Is anyone even clowning Davante? They shouldn't be as is, but no, they are not. Cooper Kupp, of course, injury concerns, looking to release or trade him. We're probably going to trade him for like a 4th-round pick here. There's got to be somebody that's going to trade for him, right? Like, I kind of get it, but I also don't get it, because I think if he's healthy, he is worth at least a 4th-round pick. Keenan went for, what, a 3rd last year? I think Cooper Kupp's worth a 4th, easily. Looking at the offensive line, a pretty damn good offensive line, actually. Alaric Jackson, way better than a 78 overall, at least last year. Got paid a contract extension. I mean, right up there with, fair market value. Kyron Williams, obviously, was solid. And then, of course, Nakua, really good receiver. One of the best in the league, honestly. 88 overall is probably not doing him justice. I would do minimum 92. Minimum, I know there's some injuries last year, but minimum 92. When he was out there, he looked exactly like he did when he was a rookie. Stafford is obviously solid. Chances that he was going to be gone, probably a lot lower than reports were stating. He's agreed to some sort of restructured contract. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I don't even know if anyone knows what it is. Then we move on to the defensive side of the ball where, wow, how unlucky. Aaron Donald leaves. Jared Verse. They haven't had a guy like Jared Verse on the edge in a long time. Robert Quinn, maybe? It's been a long time. Imagine Jared Verse and Aaron Donald together. I mean, hell, Kobe Turner and Fisk. I mean, Fisk, maybe not as good of a run blocker, block shedder, but pretty good pass rusher. This D-line would be insane. Obviously, some things might have changed if Aaron Donald was still here. Maybe they don't have one or two of these guys, but Aaron Donald and Jared Verse would be ridiculous. But at least they still have a promising future there. Problem is, there's some question marks elsewhere. Strong safety, perhaps. More importantly, cornerback. Cornerback is a huge issue here. Inside linebacker, for sure. Byron Young in Madden. In real life, maybe not as much, but in Madden, definitely need to replace him. Not too worried about this defense. They could have been better last year for sure, but I'm not super worried about it, especially here in Madden. This is a team that, maybe a corner or two away, and you're right back up there. This is a really promising team. Problem is, in Madden, not so much, right? I actually listed this as the hardest rebuild team before the season started. Some of these guys were obviously a lot lower than they are now. Jared Verse was nowhere near an 86, obviously. A lot of these guys were really low overalls. And then, of course, you have to deal with Stafford, who retires pretty early on. Now maybe as an 85 overall star, maybe not as quick. We're going to at least have one good season with him. But, yeah, we're going to see what we want to do in the draft. I don't believe they have their own second-round pick, so we'll have to maneuver that as well. But cornerback is likely going to be very, very high, maybe even the number one selection, maybe even just force one, honestly, even if we're, usually a best available pick type of team kind of situation. But, yeah, I'm not going to spend too much of free agency, as basically free agency. It's not over, but the big bulk of it is kind of over. A lot of the names are gone already, so I can't imagine signing anyone significant at this point for the Rams, but we'll see if there's one there, and, it makes sense. We'll do it. Also, what is this team doing at tight end? That's what I want to know. Like, what are we doing at tight end? It's surely not Higbee as the starting guy. He didn't even play, like, maybe a game's worth last year. But let's see these contracts. So, Alaric Jackson, I mean, I would love that price, but obviously a bit more than that. Yeah, Rob Havenstein. I mean, thankfully no one really, massive here. We're kind of, Jimmy Garoppolo, rich on him, but, yeah, that'd be crazy, though. I know there's been some memes flying around about, Jimmy. Imagine he ends up having to start because Stafford gets hurt or whatever, and Davante, you're stuck, buddy. It was actually cheaper than this. I would have thought I would have had to pay more. I trade Cooper Kupp over to the Jets. I thought it was kind of fun, kind of a quarterback swap, and they need a quarterback or a wide receiver swap. We need a 4th round pick. They need a wide receiver. Boom. All right, we're in the draft. We, of course, have pick 26. We are looking desperately at cornerback. We'll see if we can end up getting one. A new lineup. Didn't change the lineup at all for like the draft board before or after the last rebuild. So completely different, which I love to see. I love to see some differences. Williams at 3 to the Giants. I don't know about that. Mason Graham has pretty much been locked at 4 for a while now. Nolan at 5. Okay, that's a different one. Travis Hunter at 6. Usually it's Sanders at 7, but now it's going to be Carter here at 7. Panthers, Will Johnson at 8. The Saints with Pierce at 9. Pretty good pick. Genty. Could you imagine it was Genty, man? I just want Genty to go higher in these rebuilds because he just, no matter where you put him, maybe I need to put him all the way at number 1. He just doesn't go higher than the 2nd round. I don't know why. Tyler Warren at 14. Don't think that's the number 1 need for the Colts. Let's move on, though. Keep on going. Not Will. Okay, not Will. Not Will Campbell. And there he is at 18. Corner looking pretty... Oh, there goes Barron. So with Barron gone, we're down to like 1 or 2 names that I would really take this high. Man, that was a little higher than I was hoping. I was hoping we'd be like 22, 23 by the time I needed to make a trade up. Oh, man. We got a lot of players on the board, of course. But we have 2 players. So we'll keep on. I think Harrison could end up being the guy just based on like who's expected to go next. Keep it going, though. Just keep falling, please. I don't ask for much. Come on, Green Bay. You don't need a corner. Yeah, you don't need a corner. Do we actually have choice? Oh, wow. We actually got kind of lucky here. This is going to be a tough one. Of course, a 6'3 frame is always going to get your attention. He's more of a 4'4 guy. So, yeah, I mean, 4'4'7 is a 4'4, but you know what I mean? Like a lower 4'4. And then you have Harrison, who obviously ran, a 4'2'9, I think it was. It's going to be hard to pass on that speed. The problem is he going to be hidden dev in this class? Probably not. I think with that speed, EA is going to have a hard time not putting him at least star dev. But I might go with the slightly taller player in Revel. I mean, I want a truly good corner 1. I mean, 6'3", though. I mean, how many, 6'3 pluses do you see that are actually, genuinely good these days? It's usually the shorter the corner, the better they are. That's a tough one, actually. Press, I like... A press, man. I mean, you obviously have a B from Hairston anyways. I don't know. Because of the injury, I'm actually going to be going with Hairston. I'm going Hairston. 36 true, normal dev. You know what? Because this is a little outdated, and I know the man's working on the new class, because of that 40 time, I'm going to bump him to star. I just think with how he's climbing the board, EA would have a very hard time not putting him at hidden dev. I just don't see it. I think he's hidden dev. I also think it's crazy we don't have another pick till basically the 4th round. Trying to think of what can we do. Taylor's a 1 to 2 here, by the way. I'm going to go to the end of the 2nd. Maybe I guess the start of the 3rd. If Taylor's there, I'm going to make a trade up. Damn, Taylor's still there. I might have to go for Mason Taylor. 6'5", 21. It's got some speed. I'm going to try to make a trade up with the Chiefs. We'll see if we can do it. I mean, I still need a center, but... yeah, line's good enough. Line's good enough. I need a tight end. Let's make this offense so good that you don't have to worry about anything else. There you go. This offense about to get another weapon. Mason Taylor. I think he might be hidden. I wouldn't know for sure, though, because we have never drafted him before. Gunnar Helms there, too, though. Meh. Mason Taylor. That's going to be our pick. I've decided. 40 true talent. Hidden dev. Okay, there you go. That's a great draft pick. Let's go. Let's go to the next round. We really can't trade up much more than that. That was already a pretty big loss for our depth. And then we've done the move of Jared Wilson a few times, but we've almost always moved him to somewhere else like guard. So Jared Wilson, because we know he's hidden dev in this class. I know, a little bit of cheese. He's going to be our center. And I've made the move of Clark a few times now, and I haven't started him yet. I still don't know if that's going to happen, but... maybe do you see him as a corner? He's not bad as a corner. And we're going to go again with another corner, Jalen Smith. Kind of the filler picks that I put in the bottom of the class or the board for myself usually, and then just don't take them. But this time we're going to take one. Got a lot of 6th-round picks, including one from the trade of Jonah Jackson, and we're putting them to good use, I think. Jordan James, we know he's hidden as well, but that's going to be my guy. 71 true, hidden dev. almost never use them, back up, and they never do anything. But fair enough draft, right? I think this team needs to go pretty heavy at corner. I know we really need to go middle linebacker, but there's still time in free agency to find some sort of body to fill in that little, that linebacker role. But really needed a cornerback. Got a few of them, arguably 3 if you want to put the safety there. Needed a tight end pretty badly, and then we needed a center, which, all of that we filled. Once again, with Hairston, we're going to be upping that dev, I think, to star dev. I think that's fair. I just think it's fair. There's no way he's not going to be at least star dev, and of course his speed is going to be, he's got to be at least 96. I think 96 speed is pretty fair. Even then, kind of low. 4.29 should probably be 97, but kind of low. Ooh, that overall jumps a lot, though. Let's make him maybe a little bit worse than I didn't want him to be a 77 overall. That's a little high. Let's drop some of his ratings. Let's drop his man and zone by 3 or something like that. Boom, boom. What do we got? What are we looking at? What's that overall looking like? I really want it to be 75. I'm going to drop it a little bit more. All right, there you go. 75 overall. Now Mason Taylor, tight end 1, 6'5". Good enough athleticism. Good catching. Short route solid. Mediums and deep is iffy, but decent run blocker. I think that was a good draft pick, especially from the high third standpoint. Then we got good value in Jared Wilson as well, even though he's a 67 overall only. And then Smith, 71 overall. Never taken Jalen Smith, so this would be a guy that I'm going to look at. 73 man, 70 zone. This is where the Madden comes in a little bit, I think, based on age and overall. Unless there's significant overall higher, we might start both of them. Here we go for the start of Season 1. Stafford's an 85 overall. We just turned off regression for, all the players because age shouldn't matter here because EA said, hey, Stafford's ending an 85 overall. That's what he is. Looking at the wide receivers, obviously Davante Adams at wide receiver 1, Nakua at 2. How long will you have Davante at wide receiver 1, though? Is he's obviously going to regress hard. I know it's a 2-year 46, which, it's up there, but he played well enough last year to deserve that, I think. Offensive line definitely need to replace some players. Havenstein, probably Avila, probably real life, maybe not, right? Especially Avila. Running back, Kyron Williams, hopefully we're fine there. 26, 27, 25. Holy crap, I thought he was 26 last year. Goated. 25 years old. Why do they ever let him go to free agency in game? They always do. I don't know. Defensively, obviously some problems here. Middle linebacker, we definitely need some new middle linebackers. Edge, once again, Byron Young, we probably need to replace him. I'm starting Harrison and Smith. Based on the way the guys played in real life, they do need a complete overhaul at corner. So we're going to have to just start these guys and hope for the best. That's really the plan. Kinchins, 77 overall, looks good. Problem is, not the fastest, obviously. 86 speed. 88 excels pretty good. But yeah, not the fastest, but looks great. Looks fine. It's just some of those linebackers really the big issue. And then obviously, unfortunately, Madden-wise, quarterback. So this has been a horrible season. I'll put it that way. Long story short, very horrible season, which I'm a little surprised by. Really good re-signing there for Kyron Williams. Was it a 4-year 40? I'm down easily. Cameron Curl. I don't know why. I always think he starts out at 27. I'm down to do a 2-year, so we'll try to get that done if possible. What else do we have? Durant, Tutu Atwell, maybe we'll see how he's playing. Quentin Lake. A lot of these guys are very good backup, players, but I don't want to pay backup players that I have no intention of really giving much of a chance to start. Haven't signed if he doesn't retire, maybe. We'll see if he's not lower than an 80, but I think he might go 79. But yeah, Tutu Atwell, let's see how he's playing. 2-year 11's perfectly fine. A lot of green interest, that's the good thing. A lot of interest in rejoining. Having a career year. So, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't I keep a guy that's having a career year? This would probably be even more than this. 3-year 16.8. Who would have thought? But we did, apparently, when he's come back. And, of course, we win a bunch of games at the end with a 5-12 season. So if we didn't win those games, we'd basically have our next quarterback potentially lined up. Instead, now it's up in the air. Just a terrible season. We won 4 of the last 5 games with 0 scheme change. The game really just wants you to fail. We would have been one of the worst teams in the league win-loss ratio-wise, yet we win a bunch of games at the end. Doesn't help probably anybody's case, but yeah, sweet. Davante Adams killed it. Nakua was an injury-type season. Tutu Atwell was actually really good, and then Taylor, 593. I thought the scheme was better for the wide receiver ones on the, in this scheme, but I guess not. And then offensive line, Jackson gave up 18 sacks. That would be a terrible contract. But yeah, he probably won't do that in real life. Verse, 15 sacks is great. Turner and Young, great sack numbers there. Fisk, even 6.5 is not terrible. Picks, Harrison with 3, Kinchins with 2, Lake with 2, who was a backup this year for us. A couple of 1s for a bunch of different guys. Carty was pretty bad. Punting was amazing. I mean, I'm not really sure what we would have gotten here. Maybe Harrison sneaks out Rookie of the Year if we're really lucky. And he does not. It's all the way to number 5. That's tough. Best QB, number 5. Running back, definitely not on the list. Wide receiver at number 7. It's tough. It's tough. Not a great season at all. Havenstein at 34 years old does retire, 11 years in the league. Unfortunately, we're going to be needing a new tackle. Let's take a look at the dev-ups if we had any. Ravens, Cowboys, and a really good Super Bowl there. Stafford's down to a 79. Davante drops a few, but it's not the worst I've seen. 89 overall. We can live with that. Taylor goes up a few overalls. Connor Williams only goes up 1. Naku only goes up like 2. We definitely need a new right tackle minimum. How good did Wilson go up to? 77? 76. Actually, no, he was like 67. So yeah, pretty good actually. And then defensively, linebacker Spates is a 79 overall. Okay, I mean, 25 years old. Okay, fair enough. I can live with that. Goes up to star. Beautiful. What about the safeties? Any dev-ups there? Would be lovely to see. Curl, 81 overall. We got him on a 2-year 13. Turner's an 85 overall. Would have loved to see him go up. Verse at 15 sacks is still a star, which is tough. Smith, 77 overall. Harrison, 81. Still going to be looking at corner, but I can live with what we got going on. Also, Byron Young, I wish he was just a little younger. If he was 26 at this overall, I could live with this, but 83... We'll be thinking about the position. I focus scouting on outside linebackers because we need a middle linebacker. We needed off-ball. We arguably needed 2 before the season started. Now we might only need 1. But did that because I also want to look at edge. I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore. Definitely looking at quarterback. It's weird because Stafford's in 79 overall, and he played really well. It's like, what do I do? This is our best chance to grab a quarterback right now. We have the highest draft pick. We'll have probably this entire rebuild. That's 6 overall. Yet Stafford played well. So do I play Madden? Do I play Madden here? Is this the Madden in us where we trade off Stafford, who, kind of played like a Geno Smith, a little bit better than him, but you still trade him off because long term you're not loving it? Is that what we're doing? I feel like that's probably the best bet, right? So if we find a quarterback franchise level, we're trading off Stafford. Simply put, I think Stafford's the guy. I think he could be there for a couple more years, but 79 overall, 38 years old in Madden. My hands are tied. We also have a lot of money, though, so hopefully some good free agents. Shakir obviously signed in real life. Taylor Moton, I don't know what his contract's like in real life, but that could definitely be a guy we bring in. Bernard, I'd rather go youth. I think long-term it's going to be better off for us. So we'll definitely go for a right tackle. Maybe find some depth guys in, the defensive side of the ball, but yeah, I think it's really just going to be us going for Taylor Moton and saving the rest of our money. We're in the draft, and this is one of the deepest quarterback classes I've ever seen, but I didn't scout it because I was expecting to have a playoff-level season. No point in scouting quarterback because, well, we're not going to have one of those picks. Of course, we end up having a terrible year, and now I have a bunch of quarterbacks I don't know about outside of 3. The worst thing is the best of the 3 is Joe Carlisle, yet his key ratings were way worse than I thought they were going to be. It was a bunch of A to Bs, and I thought a lot of them would be A and B. Instead, even though he's in round 1, he's got to be A, C, B. So I don't know what to think about that. I'm going to trust that round 1's got to be 73 plus minimum. Might be a normal dev, though. That's what I worry about. Then you have Ryan Barkley, who's a little bit better, but a little worse in the true talent. Good accuracy. I'd say he's guaranteed to be hidden, but you don't know. And then, of course, you have the other quarterbacks where didn't scout him because I didn't expect him to really be here at 6. I expect a bunch of quarterbacks to go early, but let's see. Let's find out. Maybe we have literally choice of quarterback. I don't know. Number 1 overall is quarterback, Joe Carlisle. Okay, so maybe he really was that good. Now I'm a little worried. Now I'm a little worried about not only who we're going to get, but in general, was he actually that good? And I was about to make a mistake by maybe going Barkley instead. I'll be honest with you, Carlisle is probably going to be the guy I was going to choose. We have so many good quarterbacks here. I just don't know because I don't have the other guys scouted further. 6'5", 22, good throw power. And when you're tall with good throw power, that kind of worries me. I expect higher throw power like this guy, Paul Harper. Man, that's going to be a tough pass on him. And then we have Rashad Ford, 6 foot tall, elite throw power. He's slow. Really weird to see a short player with elite throw power in game. David Tracy. Man, I really don't know. Honestly, there's so many good quarterbacks. Why would I not trade back to 10? I'm just going to trade back to the Browns pick at 10, who need a quarterback for sure. They pass it. No, they don't. They actually took Sanders in this one, didn't they? Well, maybe they want someone else. I don't know. I'm going to trade. We trade all of this to move back, but technically move up. We end up getting 11 and 43 from the Titans. I mean, there should be a quarterback there. I'd say this will be QB or not. Okay, so that's a huge steal that wasn't QB. That's not QB. This could be QB. It is. Vikings could go QB. They don't. And I'm basically in the same situation I was before. I still have so many choices at quarterback. I don't know who to take. I really don't. Like, the one guy I know is a 1-2 is a guy that I'm just so questionable about. Like, super fast. Screw it. He's fast, good, good throw power, 45 true, please be hidden. There you go. That's all that matters. We're going to have to see this quarterback class. It was arguably generational. I mean, there was like 8 players that are potentially first rounders. I mean, obviously you see Barber here as a 3 to 4, but that draft was just so all over the place. We have a bunch of corners. Only one of them a 1-2, but a lot of these 2 to 3s are actually really good. Probably going to be, what we take in the early second here. As you can see here, A to B, sure. Yeah, A to B is the best, but B, a bunch of Bs. And you got some really fast players in Cherry and Matthews as well. Let's take a look at the 40 times. I'm pretty sure they're really fast. 4.37. I mean, Collier is the slowest of... I mean, there's just no point. Let's just go to the next round. Pick 6 in the second round is going to be where we end up taking a cornerback, which means, assuming one of these guys is 75, 76 overall, our corners are set too. And man, Tracy's still there. I almost took him at 12 or 11, wherever the hell we were. So good of a player. This quarterback class was crazy. It really was that good. Defensive tackle. Could use one down the line, but not just yet. We have a safety in Cadet. Don't really need that yet either. Down to Cherry and Matthews. Who's faster? 4.3. Well, I mean, it looks like Matthews going to be my guy, right? Because he's faster as well. Let's go and take a look. Josh Matthews, B with a B catch. He's elite speed. I got to take him. Josh Matthews, true talent of 9. Hidden dev on top of it. Usually they're normal dev. That's a W of a pick. Now I'm kind of wishing we didn't go Harrison because I'd double down on a freaking cornerback in this class. They're so good. One of these corners is like safety worthy. I might take one anyways. I might take another one. I know you have Cadet who's legitimately a safety, but I don't care, dude. This is like a generational corner class. Like, Cadet is an actual safety, but do I not draft one of these other corners? I mean, tell me one of them's tall. 6'1". I mean, Deion Cherry at 6'1". I'm taking him. I'm going to take him. He's going to be our new strong safety down the line. 13 true. Normal dev, but I like him. Maybe I regret it already, but I like him. And now we look at linebackers. We have a 1-2 projected in Shelton, but then you have a 4.38 40 linebacker in Buckley. That is ridiculous speed. I've really not had bad luck with fast guys like that. When they're that sounds so sus. When they're that fast, usually they're really good. But I like Randolph a little more, I think. I'm going to go Jay Randolph. I don't know. I like this. 84 true. Ooh, we sold. We're going to see what it looks like to trade up. I want another linebacker, I think. Damn, we sold. You know what? I'm out. I'm not going to do it. We're going to the next round. Next pick, which is miles away. I can't trade up again. We got our linebacker. He's probably going to be pretty mid, but Rookie of the Year fixes all problems. Just got to hope for Rookie of the Year, really. And Covington's slow, but he's got a B in block shed, and I think it was power move. 288 true. It's a 6th-round pick. Get ourselves some depth. Went up. All right, draft recap. Let's take a look at how we did. Oh, okay. 74, which is great. 78, which is amazing. 76, even though he's normal. But the big surprise here is that linebacker was a 72 overall. Was this that good of a draft class that 80-something is still in the 70s? Apparently so. This guy is still really raw. You could argue he made a pretty bad... I don't know why I'm looking at him. He's normal dev. I was like, hey, let's take a look at his dev. No, he's literally normal. We've got a lot of players to look at, though. So let's take a look at Ryan Barkley. Very good short accuracy. Throw power 91 is better than I would have thought. Good is usually 89, 90, 88 even sometimes. Take a look at that dev. Oh, that's perfect. Superstar. That's a great draft pick. All right. All righty. Let's put him at number 10. See what we can get for Stafford. I mean, we got quarterback that's hidden. As soon as hidden dev showed up, it was GG for Stafford, unfortunately. Gotta start a rookie in general, especially when they have that high of a ceiling. That ceiling's massive. That ceiling, like, you rich. That's how that ceiling is for heights. Brother. That corner is ridiculous. Josh Matthews, I mean, just think, like, if I would have chose the other guy and didn't double up, I obviously doubled up. The other guy was normal, unfortunately. Still good, but normal. If I didn't double up, that would have been such a sell. But hey, we did. Guy's good. Put him at strong safety, I suppose. I don't know if I'm going to start him this year because Curl was great. But might be our future strong safety. I don't even know what overall. He's probably going to drop, right? He actually goes up 1, never mind. And then Randolph we already looked at. Sweet. All right, let's take a look at some of the guys we passed on. It's going to be hard to beat the quarterback we took, though. Especially since Carlisle might have been the better. Hidden Dev 6'6". That's crazy. This is literally like Joe Milton with a better base. 97 throw power is wild. Let's take a look what his dev is. Superstar, all right. Superstar dev. Both quarterbacks really good. I mean... yeah, that guy was better than our guy, right? Ford, another hitting quarterback, 6 foot tall, 21 years old. I mean, one of these guys is going to be star, right? Yeah, it's going to be Ford. The Raiders end up taking a start of QB. Still really good, obviously. Barkley would have been... no, Barkley was the guy we took. I don't know what Barkley would have been the guy. We literally took him, dude. Paul Harper, another hidden dev. Waiting a year for quarterback. Maybe not the worst thing in the world. They ended with Abdul Carter, didn't they? Star dev. I think they did. It ended up with a good player. I'll tell you that. I don't know if it was actually Carter or not. But then we have Rab, the 72 overall. They're literally all hidden. Like, this might be the best quarterback class I've ever seen. Like, there might have been some ones, where you've got 2 X factors or something like that. But the depth of this class was really good. Any other quarterbacks? I mean, obviously we've seen some that went in the second round. Maybe further? Unless I missed them. Did some of these quarterbacks fall? Tracy fell to the 3rd. That's how good the quarterback class was, that teams in front of them all took quarterbacks. There just wasn't a team that needed a QB until the 3rd, apparently. And then Barber was also one. He was hidden too! And he was not bad, even though he's a 70 overall. And he was an X factor. Okay, dude, this class was absurd. Wasn't Barber the 3 to 4? This is why you just can't trust 3 to 4. I scouted the bottom 3 on the board, because those are the guys I'm expecting to take. He had 80 overalls in the top. This is a juiced class. This class was crazy good. I mean, let's take a look at the overalls. I mean, I guess they weren't that high at the top, but they're still really good. And then, of course, 3rd rounder, if we can find some of these linebackers. I can't even remember what names they had, to be honest. Who did we take? So we took... where the hell did we take our guy? Randolph at 6. Oh, I'm looking at my overall. I was so confused. I was like, what? But, yeah, Randolph. Let's see. So Randolph was... no, Forbes wasn't the guy. Carr might have been the guy. Tremaine Carr. And no, it definitely wasn't. He was 23. Was Robinson one of them? 90 speeder. If he was, which he probably was, automatically, obviously, better than our guy. Hidden Dev, fast, good hit power. Hidden Dev automatically beats our guy no matter what. Shelton was definitely one of them. That was the 1 to 2. It's just every time I go outside linebacker, they're normal. And then obviously you have that really bad, coverage rating usually. Nah, kind of sucks. But our class was pretty good. Outside of that middle linebacker, maybe could have done better there. Outside of that, though, I mean, we did pretty well for ourselves, I think. Buckley, was he the 90 or the 4.38 guy? Hidden Dev? I mean, every linebacker that we didn't take was better than our guy. So definitely sold on that pick, but all the other picks were great. All right, we trade Matthew Stafford over to the Seahawks. Interdivisional. They're the only team that offered me a good pick for, Matthew Stafford, simply put. We're a team that is now based on, trying to do what's best for us. Don't really care what every other team is about. As long as we're doing best for us, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So, interdivisional quarterback trade, call it crazy. Don't matter to me. If no other team is willing to give me that kind of evaluation, what am I supposed to do? All right, Season 2. I like the outlook of some positions. Others, not so much. Wide receiver definitely needing a change-up. in the future. Going to need some protection there. And then Kyron Williams, I think he'll be the running back 1 for the rest of this rebuild, hopefully. Taylor looks great. Offensive line, we have at least 2 long-term. Well, I don't even know if I would say long-term. I was going to put Dotson in my long-term starter list, but he's obviously getting up there in age himself. Moton, hopefully, does play out that 2 year as a pretty high overall. Avila's already 27, I think. 26. Okay, it's not as bad as I thought. I'm aging everyone a higher age. Alaric, once again, real life, good. Madden, we got to replace him. Defensively, once again, more issues, potentially. Middle linebacker, both of them, perhaps. We'll see what kind of upgrade Spates has. He had that dev up, but he is 25. Byron Young, he's already 28, I believe, so definitely need a new outside linebacker, DT1 as well. It's a good team. If we have a miraculous run, playoffs probably, but we also missed them drastically, like very poorly last year, so who knows. Oh, we got some re-signings, but we got a lot of money, so we're chilling. Kobe Turner, Nakua, they'll all get contracts. Spates, he's actually an 81. Man, this guy is really just gone in it. Byron Young, I don't think so, but we'll see. If he's playing really well, maybe. Davante, if I can do a 1 year, but I'll wait till the regression, because obviously he's going to go down a lot. Avila's a re-sign. Dotson's a re-sign, I think. And everyone else is probably going to free agency. We can afford everyone, Evans as well, but we can pretty much afford everyone, though, so it's really by choice, not by anything else. How much is Nakua wanted? $29 million? I mean, we don't really need to do more than a 5 year anyways. It's like long gone after we're done rebuilding them. Turner, 23. Man, you're really banking on him getting a superstar, though, so I'm going to do a 3 year. I just don't know if he will. Just don't know if he's going to get to superstar. Spades, 3 year I think is fine. It sucks that he doesn't want to stay here, so it might cost us a little bit more. $11 million per year. It's kind of expensive for an 81 overall, but that's fine. Byron Young, let's take a look at what his season's looking like. Really good year last year, not so much here this year. I think it's time to replace him, but if I can try to do a 1 year deal worth like 16 just to guarantee, yeah, there you go. Just to guarantee we have somebody in line in case we don't, the draft doesn't go our way. Sure. 3 year deal for Avila, the price is good. Did he say no? I think he said yes. Dotson could regress, so we'll wait, especially since I do not want to do a 3 year anyways. And then, of course, Davante Adams will wait on as well because he'll regress for sure. 7-10, better season, but obviously still not quite the season we're looking for. Nakua had a great year. Barkley, pretty damn good for a rookie. Running back, Williams, right at 1,000. Great yards per carry, 6 touchdowns. Davante still playing well, but lack of touchdowns, less yards. Tutu Atwell's playing well, and then Taylor just had nothing this season for us. Blocking was better, especially from the left tackle spot. Edge, though, really not the best. But Turner, great year. Please go to Superstar. We literally talked about this. Fisk, great year. Young, really bad year, but we gave him a 1 year anyways. Cherry, the rookie, 4 interceptions. Cardi, way better. Evans, way worse. We just gave him a 5 year deal. Glad to do it. Yearly awards, MVP goes to Mahomes. Nakua gets Offensive Player of the Year. Barkley gets Rookie of the Year. Not that it matters too much because he's already a superstar, but free XP. Cherry at number 2 for best rookie on defense is genuinely the worst thing I've ever seen in my entire life. It is maybe the worst travesty, disaster any humans ever had to face against. Clearly, obviously, take it seriously. All right, what dev-ups did we get? Nakua, of course, 2 X Factor. 86 overall, not bad considering we still have an offseason with a ton of money to spend. But great X Factor upgrade there. He's got the best yardage or receptions. He was the wide receiver of the year and Offensive Player of the Year. Really good stuff. A lot of XP on that one. Barkley, 86 overall after 1 year. Not bad. 75, 76? Fisk goes to Superstar where Turner doesn't. That's kind of insane. We'll take it, though. Anyone that goes up in dev is a dub for us. Really crazy that Turner didn't go up in dev, but sure, why not? What else do we have? Randolph stays normal. So you don't see what I'm talking about with this whole, slider thing. Are the sliders too much or whatever? 3 whole overalls for Randolph, who was this number 1 sub linebacker and number 2 linebacker in general. 3 overalls out of 72, where it takes less to upgrade, is tough. Of course, Cherry goes to star, but could have went to Superstar. Still, great player. Could be corner, but we don't need him in a corner, so that's why we drafted him to play safety. It was worth the start in the end. He's already an 81 overall. Matthews, obviously cornerback 1. He's an 87 overall. And we do need to do DT as Poona Ford's kind of right at the end of his career here. So, I mean, same kind of situation we talked about before the season started. We've got, middle linebacker issues. Spates, he'll be the long term, but Might need a replacement for Randolph. Probably need a replacement for Young. DT for sure. Kitchens, Kitchens, I wish he was going up a little bit faster, but he's fine. He's young. Left tackle for sure down the line here. Maybe even this year. He literally didn't go up at all. He's literally a 79 overall since the start of the season. It's more of a real-life thing where he's better in real life than in-game, of course, and that's kind of what you're stuck with. But outside of, wide receiver, I think we can fill most of this in one season. Sucks Davante regressed so hard, but yeah, we're going to have to re-sign him anyways. He's regressed, but even though he's slow, he's still good. Doesn't throw the option to potentially put him in the slot out, though. Really good route runner. He'd be killer in the slot. He's an 85 overall, 85 speed. It makes sense. We're going to still try to re-sign him here, though, even though I don't necessarily see him as wide receiver 2 anymore, potentially. But $18 million, I'll do 19 just to try and guarantee him, and we do get him. Nice. Great contract. Love that for us. And then Dotson, basically exactly what he was asking for before this, re-sign period. 2-year 42. I'm a little surprised he didn't take that because this tag might be about the same. Yeah, I mean, I would take that even better than what we were going to offer him. So appreciate the tag. And we're letting everyone else go. $84 million. No worries in the world. We can spend almost all of this for 3 seasons, realistically. So, yeah, we're chilling. I would say like $50 million for contracts that are under like 4 years. Let's see if we can make a big change to the team here. Aiden Hutchinson would be insane, but he's $41 million per year. That's basically our entire budget. I'm not ruling it out, though. Him and Verse would be killer, so not ruling it out, especially since there's not really much else going on here. I mean, you get Skoronski, put him at left tackle. There was talks about that, I think. He makes more sense as a guard, of course, but could play tackle if you had him to, but yeah, the peak is definitely a bit lower there. I don't know. Skoronski's kind of piquing my interest, and then obviously Aiden Hutchinson, but that price is so much. Obviously, Laporta looks great, but tight end Mason Taylor, even though he's not playing well, he's an 82 overall. I don't need him. I just simply don't. So Skoronski, even though he has no interest in joining us, is on my radar. Aiden Hutchinson, he does have some interest in joining us. It's a lot of money, but this would be a crazy edge duo. Giants, okay, yeah, we're not paying him $45 million per. That is, no matter how good he is, you can guarantee he's the best edge rusher in the league. That is still risking the franchise too much, in my opinion. Can't do it. I'd rather draft and develop than put quarterback money on our defense right now. I just don't want to do that. Fred Warner, if I can do this on a 2-year, I would maybe do this. Try to get him all the time, never joins us. Might happen this time, though. We might land ourselves a Fred Warner. Interesting. That would be kind of killer, because it's not even that crazy, especially for how talented he is. If he was like 29, I'd probably just do the 4-year and guarantee him, but yeah, 30 is getting up there a little bit. He's going to regress pretty significant every year. Almost gets to green on a 2-year, though, so I might try to get him to a green on 2-year, like the 4-bar green anyways, because yeah, it's expensive, but he's kind of worth it. We get him 2-year deal. 2-year 52, I believe it was, which is not bad. 26 per for his talents. It could definitely be worse. We don't need a middle linebacker anymore. All right, we have pick 7 overall, which is crazy to think you get this high of a pick where we're at. We scouted a bunch of wide receivers. I think Gomez is wide receiver 1 for me here, but you also have a really fast wide receiver in Thomas, so I wouldn't hate really either of them. Some really good wide receivers in this class. I don't know how you see this Thomas guy and don't think he's the number 1 out of these 3, but Gomez does look pretty good too, based on that round 1 talent grade. I think Thomas is better. I don't get it. Like, Thomas looks better to me. Honestly, the way I see this now is once Smart goes, hopefully he goes before Thomas, that's when I trade up for Thomas. I think Peter's the best out of all of them. I just don't think I'm going to take some guy that high, right? Like, he looks really good. A little slower, but looks really good. We have a bunch of edge rushers. Didn't really get to scout them fully, so I think what we're going to be doing is going to number 7 and then evaluating what we want to do. We might be able to move down to like 18 and land, still an edge rusher at that pick, perhaps. All right, might have traded a little bit too much here, but Limmer a 1st and a 4th for 1, 2, and 3 from the Browns. That 4th probably didn't need to go in there, but it was going to need to be at least a 5th. So I was like, whatever at that point. The Bengals trade up for a cornerback. Let's move down slowly, see if we can get an edge rusher. That's all I hope for is an edge rusher. We're seeing a lot of them go. Odin, yeah, I was going to say Odin goes. That's when I kind of start slowing down here to make sure I at least have somebody there. All right, we're at pick 18, and we have a lot of options. I'm thinking it's between Spearman and I think it's Morgan. I think Morgan might be on the slower side, though, right? 6'4". No, he's fast. A to C finesse, you just assume that's an A, but you obviously don't physically know. And then, of course, you have Spearman, 6'5", 269, A power move, C block shed. The problem with Spearman is that power guys, I don't know what it is. I just don't have a lot of success with them in sim. I'm going to have a hard time passing on Morgan. I think I'm going to go Morgan. I'm assuming he's edge, right? 6'5" would be crazy if he's not. He's hidden dev, or 6'4" anyway, 6'4", 250. If he is an off-ball, I'm going to be devastated. But A to C finesse, I kind of assume, right? But that's a great draft pick. Now it's time to slow sim until we see Smart go. We'll have to trade up, but we obviously can afford it. We have a high second, and then in general, we have extra draft picks. Ooh, Smart already goes. They're going to go all the way to 26, I think. It could also us literally everything here to get that trade up. I think Thomas is going to be a great player. I mean, he looks like a really good player. If he is a hidden dev, I mean, honestly, even if he's not a hidden dev, there's a chance that I end up starting him at number 2 and then Davante in the slot. Dante Thomas, unbelievable speed. Please, just don't do me wrong. 34, true. And that's a great pick. 93 speed. Love it. That's a great pick. That's awesome. Loving our draft class so far. I might actually finally go with an offensive lineman as well. I think we're also going to be looking at DT. Oh, we're going to have the slow sim because I have no 3 to 4. I thought this guy was 3 to 4, but he might have jumped. But I like these 3 guys, Green, Beckford, and Reed. We're going to move down until one of them is... honestly, they're probably all going to be there, but until one of them is remaining, I suppose. But I think they'll all be still here. Or at least one of them will be. We don't have to trade up, hopefully. Also, need to look at Spearman because that was, the choice between Morgan and whatnot. So the fact that he went all the way to 36 is kind of like, okay, maybe we made a mistake, but that's fine. Still have pick 7 in the third, which is awesome. Probably where we take Yates, assuming he's there. But we're now down to 2 defensive tackle type players, which I want one of them to start or move somebody over to that nose tackle spot. But let's see who we have as our best option. So Reed is a definite better pass rusher, but Beckford is a little more balanced. He's got better tackling. It's going to be a tough call for me because Reed, I mean, those ratings are kind of interesting, especially with that strength, 39 reps. I think he's probably going to win, right? But let's take a look at Beckford as well. A tackle. Yeah, I mean, Beckford looks good. Might even be the higher dev, but I think Reed is just can't miss. Like, that just looks so good. Please be hidden, though. 23 true. Hidden dev. This has been a great draft. I mean, last draft was great, too. I'm hoping Yates is still there. I maybe should have slow sibbed this one, too. I mean, unless he went in the late second, he should be here. Let's see what we got. I'm going to make sure that we do want Yates, right? 1 to 2. Some decent corners there, but we don't really need corner that bad. Donnie Yates, really solid-looking player. 1 to 2 true talent. If this guy's hitting, this has been a perfect draft. This has been, I mean, just an amazing draft. It has been so good. Wait, we got a 2 to 3 wide receiver still here. Yeah, he looks raw, but he's obviously fast, so I'm going to take him. Gerald Hayes, 167 true. Yeah, I don't know what they're missing. 99 speed, hidden dev. In the 4th round. He was a 2 to 3. But hey, if teams want to give us a freebie, I'll take it every day of the week. Thank you. All right, draft recap. Let's see. I mean, obviously, we're almost all hiddens. Yeah, a little lower on the overall. That's fine, though. Zaire Morgan, I think he's automatic starter. 79 finesse, pretty fast. Can we get really lucky? Just let me have one of these lucky drafts, please. I would call that lucky. Superstar dev, especially at a position like edge, is huge. Thomas, don't really need it. We've had plenty of normal devs. We're going to have, by the way, number 14, 15, and 17 for wide receivers, which is pretty cool. But 93 speed, 89 excel. When somebody doesn't run any great release, pretty damn good route running and all that. Let's take a look. We get lucky here. His dev is star. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Once again, I've had plenty of success with normal devs, so him having star is just a little bit extra. Reed, 83 power move. This guy's not a nose tackle. We've got to do something. Fisk, I mean, who's actually the biggest guy on this team now? I don't even know. This interior's a little light, I'll be honest. Fisk is a superstar, though, but at the same time, if there's anyone that needs to dev up, it's not him, right? The other guys already have their, he's superstar. The other guys are just regular star. Donnie Yates, He is a better finesse ball. That's a tackle, dude. That is literally a tackle. He is not a power blocker. He's a finesse guy. He's a tackle. I don't care. Left tackle. I don't know if he's starting this year, but he's going to start at some point. Wide receiver. Could be superstar. We've seen these types, but usually the superstar slot speedsters aren't 2 to 3s. They're usually a bit later, so we'll see, but maybe. Nope, he is superstar. Okay, we got ourselves 4 really good wide receivers now, which is awesome. Got a really fast running back. He was pretty mid, though, can't lie. Peters, 78 overall. I mean, I'm curious enough. He's pretty good. I mean, I'm feeling superstar for him. Probably not X Factor, but he could be. Don't think that's a traditional generational, though. But maybe it is. I don't know. He is an X Factor. Pick 1 overall. Good pick. We obviously have a couple of other players. One of the big ones being Spearman in the second round. There might have been some better edge rushers, ahead of our guys, but I don't care because we made a great move. Spearman, definitely worse than our guy, but 90 strength is crazy high, by the way. Let's take a look at what his dev is. Star, we made the right call. Not that that guy's not good, just we found someone better. And then here's Gomez, the 75 overall. Alex Gomez, hey, hidden dev as well. 92 speed. He's faster than I thought he would have been. Definitely faster than I thought he would have been. Better in general than I thought as well. Star dev, fair enough. I mean, it was a good draft class. It was great. That edge being superstar, that's of all the players we had hidden, if I could choose one to be superstar, it would be him for sure. No doubt about it. Davante, I think, is in the slot now as this wide receiver wins Rookie of the Year. He could be low 80s right after the first season. It is now season 3. We're an 87 overall team. Thomas is wide receiver 2 because we're trying to prop him up as a number wide receiver 2. Davante's gone after this season. Hazel maybe take his spot. I feel sorry for Tutu Atwell because he's been kind of silent in the background, just doing his thing. Just, not really have a chance with that long-term, normal dev, 27, I think now. Left tackle, going to be Yates next season. Definitely need a new right tackle. Might need a new right guard. Might even need a new left guard because if Eli's only 80 overall, he's kind of hard stuck 80. Defense, though, this is where things are good, right? We have no one to replace as of right now. I can't really see outside of, Fisk is your number 1 to replace potentially because he's 27. He's only 85 overall. That's really all I can see as of right now, which is not a bad problem to have. All right, $158 million. We just talked about potentially needing to replace Fisk. It might be happening sooner than I thought. Kinchins for sure. Verse for sure. Cameron Curl probably not, but he actually did develop really well. I don't know why we got so quiet. Byron Young is solid, but that 2.5 sack season, it just did him in, I think. Dotson, if I could do a 1 year 19, be great. We're still going to try to do 1 year, I think. Don't want to do 2. I think he's going to regress. Davante is likely going to retire. If not, who knows? We'll see. Moten definitely going to be replaced. Who do we got? Hairston going for? I mean, this team is in a good spot. It's just, can we actually make the playoffs? Can we get over the hump of missing the playoffs? Can we win a playoff game? I don't want to be like a pretty good team. I want to be a great team. Yo, Barkley's an X Factor. That's another nice one. We'll take it. Yikes, finish of the season. One of the worst finishes I've ever seen. Honestly, in a rebuild, it's just, it's really unfortunate if we lose this game as well. We do make the playoffs at 9-8, though. We get in as the 7 seed. We lost, I think it was 3 straight games in a row to teams that all were lower overall than us. We started off really bad. I switched the Packers scheme. I'll just be real with you. Switched to the Packers scheme. Had a couple of 3-game losing streaks. The Niners, Colts, Vikings, the Panthers, Seahawks, Ravens, which I don't get it. I don't personally get it. Some of those teams, how do you not at least break up the losing streak with one of them? I don't know. But let's take a look at numbers. Barkley, just as good as last year, honestly. So the Packers team not really doing us much there, but the run game was a little bit better. And then, of course, we have wide receivers for Thomas, 1,000 yards, 14 touchdowns. Nakua, 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. Adams in the slot, about the same as what Tutu did. Taylor, a little bit better this year. Blocking, yeah, not the best. Not the best, especially from left tackle, but the guards, the interior was good. Then we look at defense, where I didn't change the scheme once. We've still had the Rams scheme on, and Reed puts up 18.5 as a rookie. That's crazy. Superstar minimum, maybe Max Factor. Turner, another great year, 11.5. Verse, 7. Morgan, 7. Would like more from Verse. We paid him a 5-year, 155, I believe, which is good money, 31 per. And then Morgan, 7 as a rookie. Pretty good. Fisk, definitely better than he started. He was 2.5 through 11 weeks. Fisk might be a free agent. He might be he hasn't really done much. I can't believe I paid Cardi, dude. He's back to being trash again. But yeah, Fisk has been just a little inconsistent for my liking, and I think we need a true nose tackle anyway. So we'll see what happens there. Rookie awards, should win Rookie of the Year. We do. And defensively, same thing, Reed, obviously. So offensive and defensive Rookie of the Year wins. Playoff berth, 9-8, as long as you're in, doesn't matter. 9-8 is completely irrelevant now. We're literally the same as the Niners here. We're literally the same as the Cowboys. You know, we are on the road. Doesn't matter the records anymore. We're just on the road, and we're in the playoffs. That's the only relevance. Could we see a Super Bowl win at 9-8? That'd be crazy. 7-0, 7-7. Barkley's played pretty well. 10-7. I just don't know if he's quite there yet. 14-10, 14-13. Huge stop there. Second half, we're up by 2. They get a touchdown, though. It's a 5-point game. We're up by 3 now. It's all tied up. We get a field goal, so we're up by 3 again. 4th and 3, the defense gets a stop. The offense stays out on the field. They win. And I know, this is crazy. This is absolutely buck wild. You're at your own 29-yard line. You give this up. The hell? You give this up, they get an automatic field goal. But I don't trust it either. Outside, Williams, wide open, trying to call game. And he I protected the ball with right bumper. And that's... Why are you still fighting? Hello, Kyron? Were you hit directly in the head, helmet to helmet, 15 times this game? That might be the biggest fail I've ever seen in a Madden game. Literally ever. Like, the decision to go for it's smart every day of the week. It's a first down every time. It's a first down. It was first down every day of the week. He had it. And then he just goes full mental. Think you pick up something short when Nakua. I mean, this is crazy, dude. I got to try to win this for the team. I don't feel responsible at all. I don't even care. I don't even remember. Did I juke move? I don't care if I did or not. It doesn't matter to me. That should have never happened. Who is that? Is that Thomas? Huge hit, but holds on to the 35. Going back to Thomas on this play action look. Williams, I don't trust giving the ball to at all. Yeah, we're going to have to throw this away. Thankfully, it's not grounding. Do go back to that cross. Thomas worked last time, but the problem is he was the only guy open, so. Inside, it's a pretty good throw. Great catch! There he goes! All the way to the 1-yard line. Who was it? Was that Tutu? Tutu Atwell, what a catch and run. Of course, I'm not calling a timeout. It's their job to call a timeout. Kyron Williams, who fumbled. Going to give it back to him. 1-yard line. Great blocking. No worries in the world. That obviously doesn't make up for the fumble at all, but at least we're back on top. What a play by Tutu Atwell. Damn, son. I love that. 3rd and 2. They're going for Hail Mary. Will they get it? Did they just get a penalty from the 43-yard line? They don't get it. We're moving on to the divisional round after, I mean, just one of the biggest attempts at a choke I've ever seen. I don't know why Kyron fought for 4.5 business days, but he did. Quinn Ewers back as the starter for Seattle. 3 touchdowns, 0 picks. It's crazy that he actually went here as well. That's insane, actually. But 136 yards for Walker with a huge run. Kyron, very consistent, but that fumble was, once again, pure brain damage. I mean, that's insane. That's insane. Reed with a sack, 0 picks. Kicking Cardi. If he has a great playoff run, I'll forgive all the regular season blunders, even though it possibly cost us a game or 2 for all we know. 8 missed kicks is crazy work. The Eagles, I don't love this, but we're comparable to them. They have us beat in everything, but only by like 1 or 2. End of the game. 3-0. 7-3. Nice start for the offense. Defense gives up 7, though, and then the offense struggles. The defense gives up another 7. Huge run, potentially Kyron. 3-point game, second half. Offense just does not want the lead. The defense is giving them a chance at the lead, and the offense won't take it. They simply won't take it. 3rd and 9, 4th and 4. I mean, the offense got to do something. It's just every time. It's just every time they have a chance, they blow it. Oh, man, I can't really do. I really trust slants. 6 minutes left. You really should play defense, but it's like bound to happen. One of these times, the Eagles' offense isn't going to fall apart. One of these times, they're going to get a drive. Higbee's our main route. That's crazy work. Whatever. Higbee! Look at him go! Big fella. Under 150, and it's almost the end of the game. Barkley, what are you doing? Genuinely. I don't feel great about this drive. 3rd and 20, dude. I mean, they have to punt it. They have no choice. You can't get 15 yards. And then here it is. Okay, they get the stop. I mean, you have 1 minute left now, and there's like no clock, 0 timeouts. I don't even know if I'm allowed to come into this game because the clock is going to go, so I'm just going to slow it down. I'm going to, wait until the last second to come into this game in case that clock is running, it glitches out, okay? I mean, just the offense is getting locked up. It happens, but I need them to do better. We're kind of predetermining this one. It's just your offense does nothing all game. You get put into a box like this where you're forced into, one look. A little motion for Taylor. And we just have no time to throw. It's a horrible throw, and I can't believe you caught it. Thomas, why are you so good? Thomas being good just costs us big time, and we don't even have enough time. There's no way it takes 20 seconds to get to the line from there, by the way. But, yeah, the offense just sold. They just sold. The defense was amazing. They were so good. Defense was so good. Barkley, 153 yards. Kyron actually had a good game, too. Just disappointment. Really disappointing there. I mean, I felt it was early anyways. Cardi missed a field goal, which played a factor, I'd imagine. Would have been a little less aggressive maybe down the line. I don't know. But, yeah, that's disappointing. To just have basically no scoring for the entire game. You had like 2 good drives and the rest was just horrible. Like, it's not even like they were moving the ball. They were like basically punting it every time, like instantly. Either way, go to the Super Bowl, see the Eagles win another Super Bowl. Not that they wanted this. I don't know if they won one this time, but they were in the Super Bowl a billion times. Eagles, Steelers. Damn, the Steelers are about to win a Super Bowl in year 3. I guess our rebuild we did was pretty on par. Man, some of these rebuilds are really starting to... I mean, I wouldn't call them realistic in the sense that, these teams are doing well, but the Steelers are in the Super Bowl in year 3, just like we were, which is, and then the Seahawks took Quinn Ewers. So it's crazy, but let's see it. Barkley's an X factor. We already knew that, actually. Thomas is a superstar, 84 overall. Take a look at how he looks now. Short route's pretty bad, but everything else is great. Superstar Dev, huge. Davante, would he have retired, or we have to wait a week to see it? No, he did straight up retire. Hayes looks to be the wide receiver 3 of the team. Defensively, anything going on here? Morgan's a superstar. Turner's a superstar. Reed's a superstar. Great season. It sucks how it ended, but actually Morgan... Oh, yeah, Morgan was drafted as a superstar. What am I even thinking? Morgan was a superstar. But, yeah, a lot of great dev-ups that we really needed, especially Kobe Turner. This was a massive one. If I would have known this, I probably would have, done an extra year or 2, but that's fine. I think the evaluation we got was pretty good. And then, of course, Reed, you already knew every day of the week he was going to go to superstar. 87 overall. He had 18 and a half sacks. This is, deserved. To be one of the best players in the league, what overall is he? 8th left end. You put up 18 and a half sacks, you deserve to be one of the best, right? You are one of the best. So, yeah, not really surprising there. Year 4, though, we at least got a playoff win under our belt, but is that our peak? Harrison needs a 5th year. We'll just re-sign him long-term. Dotson did regress. We offered him a 1-year 20 all year long. He's dropping his ass to a 1-year 16. I'm still willing to honor that, though. He's a big part of this offense. So, if he wants to take it after declining it for so long, that's fine. Change of heart? Sure, whatever. Fisk, a lot of money, but you know what? Keep the team intact for now. 2-year 54. It's a lot of money, $27 million per year for an 85 overall, but that interior D-line, it's expensive like that. And, in real life free agency, it's been crazy expensive. But $85 million before we go in. I kind of already know what we need. Not much. The answer is honestly not much. Gibbs is here. I think the smart move would be to sign him. But I'm not going to do it. Of course, you look at Jalen Carter, and it's like, why did I do it? Should have got him and put him at freaking DT. We still could do it, though. We could afford it. We are like that crazy that we could do this. Oh, man, I should have let him go. Letting Fisk go would have been so smart. Cooper DeJean is crazy good. Pooney, I need a left tackle, if anything. Left tackle, right tackle, and I don't think there's either of that, right? Like, I can't move any of these guys to those positions. Like, I guess I can do Tooney. The problem with Tooney is he's not really the best at tackle, but he's good enough, I think. I think he's proven himself enough as a tackle that if a team is desperate, like the Chiefs we've seen in the past, he can play tackle. So, I wouldn't say we're desperate, but he's going to be our right tackle. Don't care. And I guess it doesn't matter. Jalen Carter declined, so Fisk actually pretty saved because we had a 5 bar on that and we didn't get him. So, say what you will. Safeties are fine. If not, I would have maybe gotten DeJean and put him there. We did get Tooney, though, which is by far the most important because we just don't even have a right tackle. We're in the draft, pick 26, and we've got a couple of top 5s, including a running back who is a day 3. Put Put a couple of running backs on there. Looked at, guys that had speed. Seen his key ratings. I had 3 to put on. I put it on him, and he looks really good. As far as DTs go, I probably shouldn't even have scouted these guys. It's just I don't have much we need anymore, so I kind of just scouted this. And then this guy I'm pretty much guaranteed to take, which is why I didn't scout him further. 46 reps, a power move. He looks like a great true nose tackle at 400. And what was it, 407? 407, that's crazy. And then you also have a top 5 true talent guard. I mean, he's more of a center, but do you pass on that? Probably not. I don't really know if we have extra draft picks, though, so we'll try to go to like 20, 22, and then maybe make a trade up. All right, we make a trade of quantity for quality. 3 spots up. We're going to be taking that top 5 guard, probably more of a center, like we said, but 6'2", he played, guard, obviously, if he needs to. 6'2", 310, feels more like a center, though, like I said, but looks great. Could be generational, hoping. True talent 1, that's a pretty good sign. I will say the athleticism a little mid. He's weird. He's got a really mid athletic build, yet he's goated. He's kind of like, don't get me wrong, Jason Kelce would destroy me, but sort of like Jason Kelce, right? Like he had such a kind of small build, but yet so good. We trade a second this, a fourth this, and a fifth next to move up to the Lions at 47. And of course, with that, we're going to be taking Kevin Stephenson. I mean, this would be such a disappointment if he's not at least star dev. Hoping for superstar though. 2 to 3. Give it to us. 49 true is hidden, though. 98 strength, 46 reps. Thought he would have 99. Very close to it, though. 407. That's wild. And here we are in late third. I'm not even sure if we make use of him, but Titus Bonner, top 5 true talent. You can't pass him. 4 is normal, though. Maybe he could have passed him. I mean, that's 76, 77 overall, which is good. Worth the pick for sure. But I don't know if he's actually worth it. He might not have been worth it, but he looks good enough. Fair enough. And then we have 2 linemen. We're going to wait till one of them's remaining. Hopefully, the guy that's 1 to 2 actually goes first, because I need someone a little bit taller. We trade a fourth next, a sixth this to move up for, I think it's Torres, right? No, Chavez. Either way, even though he's a little small as well, we're going to have a really small offensive line, but the players themselves look good, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. 34 true, hidden dev, worth it every day of the week. 7th rounder, fullback, I guess. Yeah, that guard's pretty good. 79 overall, DT at 73, and then, of course, Bonner, 78. So, I mean, it's a good pick. Even though we might not use that running back, at least we have an option. What is this? What is this build? I don't even know if he's superstar. That is such a strange build. That's like a tackle build, but he's 6'2". Yeah, he's only star. He's a good pick, right? Obviously, he's high overall, but damn, if I would have taken him in the top 10, I would have been devastated. Of course, really good power move, solid block shed, 98 strength. Such a weird build for 407. You think he's just a body clogger, taking on the lanes for the run? No, he's a good pass rusher. I don't know. Star dev, not superstar, a little disappointing. Titus Bonner could be the future for the running back position when Kyron's gone. Interesting power build with good juke move, decent speed. He's a good all-around back. He's a great player. And then, of course, we look over at Chavez, John Chavez, 6'1", 300-pounder. Great pass blocking. Looks to be straight-up center. Right? He's even smaller than Bass somehow. Isn't even possible. 25, now FC, now State of K2, now Rivals, now State of K2, now FC, now 25 now. Here we are for year 4. This is, once again, the magic year. This is the magic year. This is where we win the majority of our Super Bowls when we win them. So if there's going to be one, it could be here. Of course, offensive line, definitely not as good as we've had in many rebuilds, right? 82 left guard, 82 center, 85 right guard, 85 right tackle, 75 left tackle. But we just had other needs. We just had other things to fill. We've had just a good enough offensive line where I can live with it. So we haven't really had a chance to. And now, here we are, drafting linemen. We drafted this left tackle last year, and he's finally starting. Then Bass and Chavez could maybe replace some players. Who knows? But defensively, middle linebacker, you got Fred Warner kind of holding things down. Spates is pretty good, but yeah, Fred Warner's the guy. Edge, would love to see Jared Verse go up in dev, but looking pretty good there. Should be like 86, 87 Morgan by the end of the year. DBs are, trending upwards. Interior of the D-line has been great for a while now. Is it a good team? Is it a good enough one to win a Super Bowl, though? It's hard to tell. I think any given Sunday, yes. As far as our traditional, we expect to win, probably not. Re-signings, $119 million. We're going to probably hold off on Warner for now. But we definitely want to pay Hairston. Taylor, the price is great, so I have to. Wilson, the price is great, but we have linemen waiting. It's going to be a tough one. You definitely lose Dotson, I would say, but you have to pay Barkley. You're looking at $60 million per year minimum. So here I'd be willing to spend about $50. And I think you can do that. Do you pay Warner, though? I don't know. Obviously, Harrison, easy clap. Then you have Taylor. I wouldn't say easy clap, but I'll do a 4-year 48 because the price is so cheap. I don't know. We probably could do better just because, he hasn't really participated much. You could definitely do similar at least. 4-year 38 for Wilson. He takes it. The price is too good to pass. And then I think I really like Smith. I would do a 2-year 8.8 here. Warner is interesting. Easy. I mean, I think I could easily do a 1-year on Warner, but I wouldn't want to do more than a 1 year just to guarantee we can pay Barkley. That's all that matters to me. I just guarantee a payment of Barkley. Nice. Fred's such a G, dude. $60 million left. I think we managed this pretty well. And we talked about year 4, 15-2. Looking pretty good as the number 1 seed. Don't have anyone in the top 3, which is usually pretty rare when you're in that top seeded spot. Barkley, though, 35 touchdowns, 5 picks, 3,700 yards. Very good touchdown to pick ratio. Great completion percentage, obviously. Then you look at running back, where Williams is a little bit worse than last year. 8 touchdowns, 1,200 yards is great, though. Then you look at wide receivers, where it was just really good team effort. 3 guys, 800 to 900 yards. And then Taylor, 645, his best year technically. Offensive line was really good. Defensively, especially for Yates, actually. 8 sacks allowed for Yates. I mean, that's the lowest we've seen from any of the tackles this rebuild, I believe. Pass rush, 13.5 from Fisk at DT. Verse at 10, which is good. Turner at 9, which is good. The rest, a little disappointing, especially Reed, who went from 18.5 to freaking 5.5. Picks are pretty low. Kicking, we missed 2 out of 25. Punting, 54 yards per punt. Really good special teams for once. Usually it's one or the other, if not both, kind of mid. MVP goes Lamar Jackson. And then as far as who the hell was that? Michael Wilson, Offensive Player of the Year. Award wins, I don't see us winning anything. We're close on a couple. Cardi wins best kicker, but close on a couple. Cardi's a superstar now, by the way. Here we are taking on the Saints, 12-5 Saints. We are a bit higher than that, of course, but I wouldn't write him off. Barber, man. Barber, he's that guy. He was number 3 on MVP. Can we do it? Do it for the memes. Year 4. 7-3, the Saints start off strong. Second quarter, we get a touchdown. Defense is holding pretty nicely. Get another touchdown, 17-7. 17-10. Ooh, had a really good chance there. Still 17-10. 20-10. Fourth quarter, it's a 7-point game. The offense is not doing its job, but the defense does enough, and then the offense finally has a great drive. Fails to finish it with points. But once again, the defense holding up strong. Looking at the numbers, Barkley was pretty good. Touchdowns are a little low, but yards are great. Completion percentage is very good. Running was pretty mid, so the offense just didn't score points. They were moving the ball. They just weren't finishing drives. Nakua was awesome. Sack totals. Pierce with 2. Pope with 2. They outdid us by a lot. 6 sacks for their defense. 1 for ours, and it was on a blitz. Interceptions, Fred Warner kind of carried the game with that pick. Had a half a sack as well. Defense just found a way to win. I don't know how you don't get sacks and you hold them to only 13 points. Yeah, I know pressures are more important than sacks, but sooner or later you got to get in there, right? You actually have to sack them, arguably, to finish a drive out. But I guess they did enough pressure to make force missed throws, and we're going to be headed to the championship round with that win. But now we're taking on the Eagles. They're a worse team than last year and obviously worse than us. But it's still the Eagles. They beat us, right? Who do they beat? They beat the Cardinals by 6, who are the Offensive Player of the Year. They beat the Packers by 3, who we're using the scheme for. So could be another disaster. We'll see. Let's find out. Going to the end of the game, I mean, if you could beat the Eagles you struggled against, I feel pretty good about a whole Super Bowl win. Really good drive by the Eagles there. We bounced back with a touchdown, but so do they. It's 17-14. It's been a bit of a gunslinger battle here. We're up by 7 in the second half. The Eagles won't go away. They get a field goal. Touchdown puts us in a good spot. 11-point lead. And the defense is going to do the rest, I think. Barely. Oh, my God. 31-28. This game was just all over the place. There was so many random streaks of just elite defense. And then just out of nowhere breaking out for a score, Barkley was just a little bit better than Jalen Hurts, and it might have been the difference. 2 rushing touchdowns on top of it. Jalen Hurts carrying their run game as Barkley was locked down. His defense has been killer. interception for Curl. I mean, they were great last year, too, to be fair. They were cooking offensive lines, to be honest. I know they kind of got cooked in the run game against Eagles, but what do they have, like 7 sacks or something like that? The Super Bowl. Who is it going to be against? Anyone but the Chiefs. The Colts. Okay, that's a little surprising, I'll be honest. Take a look at our DevUps, if we had any. 14-3. Wow. That is wild. Who is on their team? Offensively, no DevUps, because we pretty much are maxed anyways. Then defensively, we have no DevUps here. No Fisk, X Factor. I mean, it's not the most significant upgrade in the world, but we'll take him. We got another year on the contract, and I'll be honest, he kind of surprised me. I really thought that 2-year was just kind of like a, we'll try to find better, but he'll stay for now. But no, he's potentially even looking at longer than one more season on the team. But here it is. Actually, no, I wanted to see that team. Like 14-3 is the Colts. Like, how? Richardson is actually an X Factor. Okay, I mean, I guess Richardson, they just developed him. Tyler Warren is also insane. The offensive line got really good. Holy. Okay, I mean, their offense is insane. Defense, not bad, but obviously not as good. Collier. Okay, these corners that we were looking at, those two. 95 overall for Collier. I mean, oh my God. Collier. What a freaking player, dude. All right. 14-3 versus 15-2. Two teams that are, I wouldn't say new to the Super Bowl phase, but you haven't really seen them face off, I guess. It's a cooler matchup than repeat after repeat. Going to the end of the game, what do we got? 7-0. Still 7-0. A lot of nothing, but they get a touchdown. We get a touchdown. Huge drive. Really could have used a score there, but second half we start out strong. 21-7, 24-7, 24-14. Colts aren't going away. Field goal is going to help us, but not put it away. 6 points, and the Colts have the ball. They actually might do this. That is insane that they made this comeback. That's crazy. 15 seconds left, 2 timeouts, 6-point game. That's wild. How the Rams let this up, I'll never know. Richardson's just too clutch, I guess. Tries to run, runs right into the arms of Morgan. I mean, now that they're this far away, I wouldn't say 3-man deep, but like Madden-wise, maybe not the worst. I mean, I need something deeper, right? Like, I just don't. I'd rather run prevent, honestly. This defense is going to let someone get behind if not. And you just, let him waste a bunch of clock, not realize how much. Take the running back. Takes the tight end. Of course, we let him break the tackle from the 7-yard line. 4 seconds left. This is unbelievable. This is genuinely unbelievable. I don't know what to run. 3-man deep from the 7. I mean, it's... Man coverage is scary. This is a bad decision. And outside he gets it. But he's not in! The craziest end to a Super Bowl, literally, of all time. Move aside, Titans. Move aside. Just move aside. It doesn't matter. That is way crazier. The guy could have reached over and he didn't. At the 1-yard line. Short of the end zone. We hold on to win the Super Bowl. That's wild. That is wild. Another year 4 Super Bowl in the books with easily the craziest finish I've ever seen. Personally. Like, I've never seen that. Like, at least in like a Madden reel. I'm not talking about real life, but arguably in real life too. That is wild. As Sean McVay and the Rams are Super Bowl champions once again. It is crazy, though, that we're talking about that and, like, we're the Rams, right? Like, the significance of that. But Barkley threw a pick, almost cost the game. Crazy completion percentage between these two. Really even matchup across the board. Sacks, I mean, somewhat even sack totals, too. Maybe a little bit in their favor. Kenny Moore with that pick almost saved it. Aubrey missing a field goal was the difference. They would have tied the game up there, go to overtime. Wow. What a finish. What was the time of possession actually like in this game? I don't know why I'm always so fixated on time of possession. Yeah, we just weren't finishing drives. Yeah, that's been like the story of this rebuild. It's just not finishing drives, but hey, we won a Super Bowl, so it's a pretty short-written story, I suppose. Let's take a look at the adjust lineup. Take a look at this team before we head on out. Yates, 80 overall. I'm not even sure why we're looking at him here, to be honest, but really good finesse blocker. Draft him as a guard. Obviously, classic move. He's built like a tackle, right? The finesse blocking is more important on the edge. That's where you're the most average I wouldn't say average player, but you know what I mean? The average amount of speed rushers are going to be on that edge for the most part, the swim moves and whatnot, and just trying to outrun your defender, your offensive lineman at least. Dotson, I guess we'll take a look at, 85 overall, probably going to be gone, cap casualty, sort of, but also just a casualty of us drafting well on the offensive line for once. Mason Taylor, easily the quietest good player on this team this entire rebuild. Just really didn't have many good seasons because of the schemes we were on, but very good overall. So, helped the team win, obviously, in that case. 97 overall for Nakua, still young, obviously. I believe he's also wearing number 12 now. I thought Davante would just move to 15. I know I think he's been paying people to switch to 17 for a while now, but I wouldn't say a while. It's literally like one team. I don't even know if he had to. I think he did for the Jets, actually. But I think Nakua is wearing 12, and Davante, I would assume, at 17, but thought Davante would just go to 15. It's not significant. Who cares? Kyron Williams in 92 overall. Really good power back. Good juking. Just once again, the big problem is no speed. And I really don't like the short backs with no speed. They're tough to use. But for Madden rebuilds, doesn't matter. As long as they play well. Barkley, 95 overall. Play action's iffy. Awareness is a little low. But accuracy's crazy good. Throw power is good enough. Good throw on the run. Good throw under pressure. The important ratings are up there, and that's really all that matters. Defensively, Kinchins gets to an 86 overall. Lacking in the dev for these guys, but I will say, just based on progression and whatnot, it seems like putting the safety regression sliders down pretty far helps that out, that glitch out quite a bit. Don't know why EA just hasn't fixed half of this stuff. Franchise doesn't make them money. After the game's been bought, they don't care, right? You bought Madden, who cares? They're not making much more money on actual game sales right now when the game's like 80% off already, I'd imagine. Morgan might even be on EA Play by now, Game Pass, whatever. Morgan, 92 finesse, pretty athletic. He's not quite that high of an overall, but he is a good player nonetheless. Long-term guy, hopefully. Verse, 92 overall. A little iffy, up and down, right? 85 for finesse, actually. 93 power move, really fast. Had some pretty good seasons in here, but also had some duds. I guess it happens to the best of them. Fred Warner, he's 97 overall. He was here as a high overall. We didn't really develop anything, but I guess since he's here, why not? It's rare that he's here, so might as well make an example or take a look at him while he is. Spates, 84 overall. We could have done better, I suppose, but we did well enough. Good finesse. Or not good finesse, good zone, good block shed, good man. He's pretty much good everywhere, just a little on the slower side, like we said. Then we look at the corners. Josh Matthews, just like Collier, both really good corners, turned out to be really solid picks. No matter who you got, you ended up with a good player. Then we're going to look at Hairston, as he's an 88 overall. Very good draft pick there. You can argue maybe we shouldn't have moved him to star dev, because that's technically not what he was. But when the guy's class that we use, it's updated, and if he's not star dev, I'll apologize. I say we cheated, but I think he'll have him at star. Jalen Smith, normal dev, 87 man coverage. Kind of got pushed out as the number 2 early on because we had a better option in Matthews, but good slot corner nonetheless. Kobe Turner, 88 overall, was worried for a while, but he got to superstar. Better block shedder than power move guy, so maybe move him DT, but it worked out for us. We won a Super Bowl. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Then we look at the other side in Reed, who's quickly climbed up to the highest overall on the interior. Very good power move at 99. Solid finesse. Block shed could use some work, but it's what happens when you're not a speed rusher. If he was a speed rusher, 99 finesse, he would have had 90 power move, 90 block shed as well. It's just so overpowered. Needs to be tuned, but EA won't. Fisk, 87 overall. Really good power move, and some pretty good other block shed and finesse ratings. So, once again, little surprised by him to actually show up. I thought he was done for. Star dev, 85, 86, 26, 27. Thought it was done for. Cardi, though, superstar. Look at him go. Been pretty mid, though, I will say, especially in the regular season, but he's a good overall superstar, so that's the rules. If he's good, he's good. Evans, 80 overall. He was pretty good outside of one season. 95 kick power, 86 accuracy. We got great special teamers. But that's pretty much going to be it for this one. Let me know what team you want to see next. There's obviously an endless amount of rebuilds that we can do now. Obviously the Jets, even an updated Bears one. So got some teams I probably haven't finished yet, and some teams I want to do updated ones before the draft comes out with the updated draft order. Of course, other moves that have been made. Let me know in the comment section below who you want to see next. Might even have a vote, a poll up in the community tabs section. Regardless, if you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. If you're not new, I appreciate continued support on the channel. Follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr. Second channel, PK Plays for non-Madden content. We'll have another Batman episode up, I imagine, on Friday. And that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see ya. And again, as usual, shout out to all the members of the channel. Really, truly appreciate you a ton. If you guys aren't already members and you're thinking about becoming one, click the join button next to the subscribe button. All the details will be in there. We have another rebuild exclusive to members coming out on the 15th, I hope, because there's so many rebuilds as is. We've been basically rebuild only lately. But we will get the franchises rolling again. Don't worry about it. But this is like another triple rebuild, right? Rebuild after rebuild after rebuild. But they're fun to do, and, you know, they're what people seem to want to watch. You know, I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, where's the franchise? But, like, the views, unfortunately, do reflect in the rebuilds. So, what am I supposed to do? Especially when they're actually fun to do, and, you know, their updated rosters and all that are happening, new moves and whatnot. It's exciting stuff. Regardless, remember or not, appreciate you for watching, and